SiriusXM Progress 127. I hope you'll check it out. First things first, 152. 152 days into the most important election of our lives. And every single day, Donald Trump gives us a reason to engage more, to stay angry, and to win this election. And on the show today, we're going to talk about what's really playing out in front of us here. It's a battle between the forces of darkness versus the forces of good. And Joe Biden earlier in the week had a great speech where he said, the battle for the soul of this nation has been a constant push and pull for over 240 years. A tug of war between the ideal that we're all created equal and the harsh reality that racism has torn us apart. And we are seeing it play out in front of us. On the dark side, even the last 24 hours, we've found out today that an investigator in the case with Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man killed by two men while he was jogging, that one of the two called him an effing N-word. That was testimony under oath today in court. So conjures up the old days of the Confederacy and Jim Crow. More darkness. Donald Trump went on a Twitter rant today, tweeting about everything. But not one time did Donald Trump mention the words police brutality. Not one time did Donald Trump mention the words white supremacy. Nor did he mention Black Lives Matter. And he won't. And people will say, well, he won't because he'll anger his base. That's not it. You're missing it. If you think Trump is motivated by making his base happy, you don't understand Trump. Trump won't say those words because Trump is a white supremacist. And that is the reason his base loves him. Let's be blunt. There's no place to be PC or timid in the time of Donald Trump in front of us. More darkness on the side of darkness today in Texas. The Bexar County, I'm probably mispronouncing it, the GOP county chair. This is a county over 2 million people. It's not a teeny rinky-dink county. Over 2 million people. Cynthia Graham posted on Twitter, on Facebook, that she believes George Floyd's death was staged. I'm not kidding. Staged. Why? To hurt Donald Trump. This is who they are. Then you had Rand Paul, a senator from Kentucky, Republican, today block passage of a bill to make lynching, for the first time in the history of this nation, a federal crime. And Tom Cotton, another Republican senator, call for our military to be in the streets of America. Those are the dark forces that we're fighting. And here's the other side, the light and the love. We saw it today in various places. One was at the vigil of George Floyd. We'll play clips during my show. People like Reverend Al Sharpton talking about the amazing inspirational protesters, racially diverse. As he mentioned, there was some protests, he saw more white people than people of color there. And he goes, this is different. And it is. Also play a clip of George Floyd's brother, Rodney, talking about his late brother and what he meant, how he would fight. And the lawyer for George Floyd, Benjamin Crump, for the Floyd family, an impassioned plea. An impassioned plea that reminded me of a famous poem by Langston Hughes, an African-American poet who's famous, about let America be America again. And I'll talk about that on my show. Also a positive thing today, Ralph Northam, the governor of Virginia, said they're taking down the Robert E. Lee statue, Confederate statue, from Richmond. Don't forget, Donald Trump has called Confederate statues, quote, beautiful. Donald Trump believes statues that celebrate white supremacy, that celebrate chattel servitude, are beautiful. And that's what they are. Ralph Northam was great on it. You know, Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And he's one of my heroes. And I think of those words a lot. But I think even Martin Luther King would make an exception for Donald Trump to hate him. I'm not kidding. Or maybe not hate him, but tough love. And it's love for each other, keeping a thick skin. And, you know, if you're going to turn the other cheek between now and Election Day, maybe turning the other cheek isn't the best thing, but don't respond with violence. Respond with votes. It's in our hands, our destiny. It is up to us. The stakes have never been more clear. It is a choice for all of us to see the forces of darkness and of hate, or the forces of light and love. It's your choice. We'll talk about that and more on this show, and I hope you'll join me as well. Join the conversation about what you think, what's going on in the charges against the 4 officers of the vigil today. Are the protesters outside moving forward? Push and pull. as Joe Biden said, a push and pull between the dark forces and the best forces of America. Who will win on Election Day? It's up to us. Thanks for tuning in to the preview of the D.W. Dollar Show. Again, I hope you'll tune in. Sirius XM, radio channel 127, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Some great guests. Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia is going to join me. Glenn Kirshner, former federal prosecutor from MSNBC, does a great job there. Also, interviews I did with Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from yesterday is going to air, and one I sat down actually over a week ago with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar to talk about her book. We're going to air that as well. So tune in. Thanks for tuning in to the preview of tonight's D.W.